Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
We're going to get started here, people. We're doing a little early today because Mr. Harvey has a prior engagement that he has to deal with. And we have a couple of, at least I have a couple of things that I want to talk about that, man, I read them and they just sent me over the hoop, man. I just couldn't believe what I read. So, Teddy, you want to go ahead and say what you got to say, or just let me do at least one of
the only thing I got here, is a lot of businesses that are. It's almost like they're ecstatic. They're excited. They know that the new administration is coming in, and they're looking at where they can make their next $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
The billionaires is wondering, where's the money going to be? Where can I make some money? This kind of thing. All that's wonderful. But then at the same time, you have the political side of it that's going to create a lot of chaos. A lot of stuff going to be in the news saying 45 is going to do this and 45 is going to do that. And this is happening in the administration and so is doing this. And they're talking about the army and they're talking about inflation. They're talking about the cost of living and all that. All that stuff is a smoke screen. Now, this is my opinion right here. When all that stuff is happening, something under the table is happening. They're doing something to distract you. That means they robbing you, they're taking your money, or they're changing some laws where they're going to be doing some stuff that you don't even know about. And next thing you're going to know, going to say, what happened? So realize that the smoke screen is on. The deception is on. Don't get distracted. Don't get unfocused because it's on.
Well, in a way, Ted, that's been going on anyway, but it is going to be even more important and stuff now, because, like you said, I I don't believe that some of this stuff that is supposedly coming out of this man's mouth, and they're putting it out there on news media, is not something that he's proposing. Is something that those people that he is putting out there are proposing to him, and he's speaking what they want him to say. I don't believe that Mr. Man has the mental capacity right now to really do a whole lot. He's just talking out of the side of his neck. And some of the things probably, yeah, but I still don't believe, because at the end of his pre-election thing and everything, he didn't look very well. he was a babbling idiot. So whatever he says and stuff, I think we need to you need to be aware and stuff that somebody else might be pulling them strings and telling him, because he said something the other day and stuff on this social media about Hezbollah better release uh, those prisoners of war or whatever it is, or hell was going to break loose for him. That sounds like some BB would say. He's not Trump because he has no idea what the hell going on over there in those countries. Because he's not a very learned individual. So I don't know. And then, man, he said something to the Canadian Prime Minister that he he wanted to make him a governor. He said, "If you guys don't like my tariffs, you can become a state. Then you can be a governor of the state of Canada." Some ridiculous crap and everything. So, like I said, I don't believe anything that man's been saying.
Uh,
I I text you this. I text you in the AM because usually I don't text you, Ted, unless something has popped up that has just devastated me. And this thing with South Korea has devastated me. It
why?
caught me. It caught me by
That
surprise.
shouldn't be
Ted,
surprising.
Ted, I was doing this whole process. I was when all these people were talking about I'm gonna leave the country and I'm gonna go because things aren't right in the United States. One of the countries that I was looking at was South Korea because I thought South Korea had a very stable government. They were all about taking care of their people. They were very progressive. They had, and they were just doing outstanding. And to have their prime minister or president or whoever he is say that he was going to establish martial law in his country because he was scared that the North Koreans were getting ready to invade South Korea.
Ed, let me tell you something. There is a movement that's going on right now. The Brits. Let me tell you something. These people, they are taking behind Putin. North Korea, Iran, China. They're taking behind Putin. And China is a little different, but they still, because they have their political system pretty much lined up. But they have infiltrated South Korea with North Korean spies and soldiers, just like here in America, and got in and got involved in their political system to cause chaos. Because you know that North Korea wants to take over South Korea. That is one of the most successful countries in the world. They do a lot of industry, technology. That's where all our TVs come, all kind of stuff.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And America do a lot of business with them. And we have collaborated with them with the military. We go there and train and what have you. North Korea don't like that. So what they've done, and I'm sure that he's collaborated with Putin. That's the reason why he over there now in Ukraine, North Korean people. So this is a whole onslaught of taking over or trying to take over and have that power again. China and Russia, Iran, North Korea. Now I don't know how all of this is going to work out, especially when we got and I'm gonna say it, a traitor in the White House and a bunch of other traitors against the United States. So I'm trying to figure out how is this going to work out on the long run to expose, not only expose them, but then how you defeat them and hush them down. Because the people that are, and I'm gonna say that word, woke, are aware of all of these political systems and knowing that they are trying to shut down democracy all over the world. They don't want democracy. They want autocracy. I guess that's the word I'm trying to use. They want to have total control of the flow of the money and making sure that their people get that money and become multi-billionaires and millionaires and keep like you said it the other day, slaves. Keep the people working and be slaves. You
Well,
can't protest. They don't want you to protest. So I guess that's the reason why he shut down the martial law, because uh, he wants to keep democracy going. But the point is, they have infiltrated, obviously, South Korea.
South Korea.
They have infiltrated it. Just like a number of these countries, that's what they're doing. So, and Democrats still soft pedaling because instead of them saying, we're happy that he made this decision to exonerate his son, they talking about they saying the opposite. The Democrats saying the opposite. Well, he shouldn't have did it. He said he wasn't going to do it, and I don't agree with it, and blah blah blah. Why are you putting around with these people? You know Trump going to do it. Then they lying
He's
saying,
already done it to all of his folks and stuff. He said as soon as he get in, all those guys who were convicted
yeah,
of tyranny and stuff, who stormed the Capitol,
yeah,
he gonna pardon all of them.
absolutely,
So,
and then
but
some.
we have Democrats and stuff has a history, Ted, of being forgiving, being the morality kings. We have to stick with morality if we can't uh, go as low as they go. But this man's son, his child, is going to be put out there into a justice system that he knows is corrupt, and it's going to be even more corrupt once this guy takes over. And if your child is out there and you know that they are in danger, you're going to do whatever you can to protect your child.
Well, you
And
should think of that on a lot of other people that's right now that's in jail that shouldn't be in jail.
absolutely. And what he does and stuff between now and the time that the inauguration and stuff happens and stuff, I'm hoping that he will go ahead and pardon a lot more people and stuff and everything. I'm pretty sure that his administration and stuff is putting together a list of people that he's planning on pardoning, so they won't have to worry about it. But I don't know, Ted. I am sitting up in here in fear of what's going on out there because I like stability. I like to have a place and stuff where I know what's going to be happening and what's going on. But when we have such instability, and not only in this country but around the world, it makes me very nervous. And I have, and when I lose control of things that's going on, I don't feel very well about that. So I don't know how other folks out there feeling. Maybe they're just so caught up in their daily lives and trying to put food on the plate or trying to stay in their homes or doing whatever. Or the folks out there who are rich and stuff and they're planning on getting richer because this man's uh, going to continue to this tax cut and forget about the 100 million that Kamala was going to get a tax cut to. So I don't know, man. It's too unstable and stuff for me. I hate that, and when I first saw that, the first thing I thought, why is this man establishing martial law? Can he find another way of stabilizing his country if what he's saying is true? I don't know.
Well, they must be steeped and dyed in it, bro, because we don't even know. We barely get any stories, regarding
Yeah, because
the.
this came all of a sudden. It wasn't like he said something about it, that something was going on or whatever, and that they were preparing all this stuff, or he just decided that this is it, and he's going to establish martial law. As soon as he said martial law, I said, "Oh my God, what the heck is going on here?" That's He's gone from 0 to 1,000. You don't establish martial law in a democratic society unless something is really, 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 really off. And it had to have been going off the rail for a long time. So I, man, it just blew me away. I just had to say that. Anyway,
Well, like I said, this the game plan for these people is to infiltrate democracy, governments that are democratic, that want to have a free society, and they want to infiltrate that to change it over to a billionaire rule. And hey, that's the sign of the times, bro. If you got money, you can pay for power. That's the sign of the times, and Putin got a lot of money. He got a lot of influence. The only thing he don't have is a population.
well,
He don't have a population because when they divided USSR, all those countries now are basically independent from him. So now he's trying to get all of that back. But these countries that are in NATO are fighting the fact because they like being free.
hmm
And the problem is that if they don't let democracy work, or I should say, they don't allow it to work because it's all about producing products and making money and bringing up people so that they can live a decent life. But when you have these oligarchs running around with their billions of dollars and they just got it flashing around, I'm worth 5 billion, I'm worth 20 billion, I'm worth 100 billion. They got what's the name now over 350 billion.
yeah, you say that toward their trillion mark. They try to hit
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trillion mark now.
What is
I
that
want to be
about,
the
Ed?
I want to be the first trillionaire.
Yeah, what is that? What's that about?
Hey,
What is
it's
that about, bro? I don't understand it.
greed. It's greed, unadulterated, raw greed. That's all it is, Ted. It's greed. They are greedy. They want to have everything. And at some point, if you got so much money that you can't even spend it, it doesn't make any sense to keep on trying to get more and more and more money. And that's what it is. The more money you got, the more power you have, the more you can buy, the more you can control uh, everything around you, and that's power. And I'm looking at Musk and some of his other folks and stuff out there who are grabbing that power. They see that man going into their White House, and they grabbing that power, and they want to be able to control what it is. And if we're not careful, if this criminal and stuff lives past the next 4 years, we I'm pretty sure that he's going to try to gain ultimate power and stuff, and don't. And like he said, we're not going to have another election in this country. He's going to be like he's not going to even do what Putin did. He's going to he ain't going to even have an election. At least Putin had an election. It was it was it was a farce, but he had an election. So I don't know, man. It's a real mess out there. Anyway, I had one other thing that I had to talk about. There's an article that came out of the New York Times. And it is a very, very, very long article. And it starts bringing up data about the fact that the Harris campaign needs to go back and look at themselves because they did something wrong. And the data that they're bringing up proves to them that she lost that election because they messed up.
What they do?
Huh?
What they do?
They didn't say what they did. All they were doing was showing the data and stuff as to all of these that even in these blue states, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, that she never got the numbers and stuff even out of those states that Biden got. That they never came that getting people to the polls and stuff was not her problem. Those folks who didn't vote was not her problem. Now, I got so upset that I only read through maybe over half of the article and I just stopped reading because all those prophecies that they were putting out there and stuff did not make any sense. Or they didn't come right out and say exactly what the heck was going on and why she did it. Because what they were saying was that Biden did better than her and that she should have did what Biden did. And because she didn't, that's her fault. and and he won because more people and stuff wanted him to win because he come up with 77 million votes and stuff and she came up with 74 million votes, but Biden had 74 million votes when he won, but Trump only had 68 million votes or whatever and stuff, total votes and stuff during that time. So Trump turned it around and everything to where he got Biden's numbers. And even in the battleground states and everything, they're saying that she didn't do well and stuff because of this, because of that. But Ted, it didn't make any sense. And the reason why it didn't make any sense is because in those battleground states, if you looked at all of them, Democrats won.
Yeah, you
In
know what this is
Arizona,
about.
in
You know what this is
Arizona,
about.
yeah, in Arizona, a Democratic won the Senate.
You know what this
In
is about.
Nevada,
She's
Jackie
a
Rousing,
woman, and she's a woman of color. They don't want to say it, but that's what the deal was. She's a woman. And women, white women didn't want to vote for her. Some black women didn't want to vote for her. Latinos didn't want to vote for her. Black men, a lot of black men didn't want to vote for her because she's a
and
woman and she's a
and
woman of color.
and they came out in full force against her.
Full force. They called her everything but a child of God.
They came out in full force against her.
And now she did well considering the time that she ran. And like you said, the ground game was there. You know, you had all of these different organizations helping her and all of that. But the point is that persuading these people to vote for a woman for whatever reason, and they don't realize what they did and what they were doing and what this man planned on doing. Now we all got to pay for it,
But
and
Ted,
we will pay for it dearly.
right, but they didn't care, Ted. That's the sad part about it. That they did not care what this man was going to do. They did not care. It was so much hatred and stuff toward her that they did not care. The fact that this man was a flawed candidate, they did not care. It was not in them to care. We don't care if it was. We don't want this to happen, and whatever happens, And it looks like a lot of them and stuff there are going to accept him and hope that they can get on through this whole daggone thing without being too damaged because of the decision that they made. And they're hoping that he doesn't do too much damage and that they can get this country back on the right track and put a white man in the White House.
What you saying? What you saying, Ed?
I said he want to put a white man in the White House. They want to put a white man in the White House. So we're hoping that they can get on through here. Because as you can see, the resistance against him is coming. When you see a Senate, potential Senate majority leader stand up with all his folks behind him and say, we ain't going along with this, with some of this stuff this man is saying. We're not going along with some of that stuff he's saying. So they are, I believe they understand what's going on. And Mitch is sitting down there regretting that he had a chance to get rid of that son of a gun about uh, 8-9 years ago. He's like, we got a chance to get rid of him, but we didn't because we said we're gonna let the voters get rid of him. But the voters said,
And
forget
Mitch was
you.
set for life anyway, no matter
Yeah,
what. He was already set. So I don't know what his big beef was. He just wanted to be in control. When he wasn't in control of the Senate these last 4 years, he was probably miserable. Miserable. And he thought, and so now he had to give it up because he got elderly now.
he done got
So
too old.
now he probably, yeah, you're right. He's probably, he's regretting it now.
He regret it. And he's hoping that his next in line, John Thumb, will stand up to all that mess. I don't know if John Thumb is strong enough to do it. I really don't.
Well, they got articles about, the Senate is going to try to, the Republican Senate, some of them are going to come against a lot of the stuff. But here, let me change gears here. Mega Mark Zuckerberg seeks active role in Donald Trump's tech policies.
The Facebook president, CEO, want to do
Yep,
what?
he's
He
trying to
wants to go
seek
into the administration.
active role in Donald Trump's tech policy. Now, all these other tech people probably shooting that mark because he does have some type of relationship with Zuckerberg. I'm talking about 45.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably trying to get in with him so that they don't destroy their money, you know. And one thing for sure is that I don't know if you was aware, you're not on Facebook, but I'm gonna tell you something. I hardly ever saw any political stuff, like I seen prior to in 2016 and 2020 on Facebook. So they sort of almost cut it out. And I understand that 45 threatened Zuckerberg. So he pretty much kept it to a minimum. So if you did some negative stuff about Trump, and it was some, but it wasn't as much as normally was, usually is. So he's probably in with 45, and and all he's doing is the reason why he want to be in this be advisor to the tech policies, so they don't destroy all of these other tech companies. You got AI. You got all of these other little social networks, and they making money, and they don't want to destroy it. They don't want him to destroy that.
Well, I I think that he believes and stuff now that since he's become the president and everything, that his old social media site that he had created and stuff now will start taking over, and people will start going to his site and leave Facebook alone. So he's just protecting his backside.
That's another way of looking at it.
Yeah,
That's another way of looking at it.
he's protecting his backside because he want to make sure that he can stay relevant and stuff out there because Facebook and stuff is they need people to stay with them. And if they all take off and go to his social media thing,
They
which
got
I don't,
one. They got one thing I haven't been on yet, and a lot of people are moving into it. It was like Twitter. They call it Blue Sky.
blue sky.
So Blue Sky. Everybody went from Twitter or X. A lot of people just stopped going there, and they just go into Blue Sky.
This
And
and this is a social media site.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Because I don't know about all these social media sites, Ted. I do not know. I don't stay on social media, especially Facebook. So I'm gonna check that out. Blue sky. Okay.
so
I'm,
the thing is that all of these different social networks are going away from X. But recently, there were three major corporations is coming back to X. They weren't doing any advertising. They stopped all their advertising. Now they're going back to that medium. So it's going to be people don't know what to do. These
right. They don't.
corporations don't know what to do, bro. They don't know who is going to give them the favor so that they can keep making their money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing. They don't realize what they don't know. They don't
Because
know
he's
where this thing is going.
so unstable. This man is so unstable that it's you can't figure out what he's gonna do. He might wake up tomorrow and everything and decide to do something real crazy. And once he opens his mouth, it does a tumble and stuff all the way up to Wall Street. He said this, and I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of these newspapers now are continue to say, "Well, he said this, he said that," and they're trying to stay ahead of what's going to happen. But we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if what he said is going to happen. All he did was open his mouth and said, "I'm going to do this," and tomorrow he might wake up and say, "Oh, I can't do that." Almost like uh, him saying that he's going to put tariffs on Mexico and Canada, but he's not going to put as high of a tariff on China. Now, in his first term, he was, I mean, he was like a bulldog on China. And now all of a sudden he's trying to he's walking back what he said about China. And why would he mess with your closest neighbor, trading partners and stuff? It doesn't, I can't, I can't figure that out. Why would you do that? I can't
Well,
figure it
I can
out.
tell you why.
They're our closest neighbor. They right across the border from us. Why would you bother your neighbors?
I can tell you why.
Your
The
opinion
reason,
now.
huh?
Your opinion, right?
No, this is fact.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm gonna listen to the fact. I thought of your opinion. Go ahead.
This is fact.
Give me a fact.
China is going around America and dropping their goods off to China. I mean to Mexico. They already got the storage houses and everything. That's what they're doing. A lot of their goods are going straight to Mexico, and then they tag them as
That's
Mexico.
Mexico. a possibility they starting to do that because they're afraid of the tariff that's going to happen. But I don't believe Trump knows that. I don't think he has a clue that that's going on. I don't believe he has a clue.
I'm gonna tell you something. Them demons, those devils, man, they keep up with everything. And ain't nothing passing them. They know exactly what's going on. They have people that's in the nuances of every little thing. They know how much money everybody's making, who's making the most money, and when they find out that they're making that kind of money or anybody or group of people, they coming after them. That's their whole MO, to stop the flow of certain people's money. He thought he could stop the NFL. He upset because his football thing was a failure.
That's because he is a failure. He's not a businessman. He's not a money management
Because you
person.
know
And
what he
even
thought? He thought that he was going to have at least 2 or 3 teams go into the NFL where he'll make more money. When he created that NFL, that whatever you call it, what do you call it, XFL or some crap like that? And
I wasn't XFL, it was something else.
he thought he was gonna make. He thought he was gonna. And you remember Russ Limbaugh was gonna be the
Right.
commentator and all that kind of stuff.
And he talked Herschel Walker into coming to his league.
Yeah,
He talked him to come in. He thought he was bringing Herschel Walker there, and that was going to, I think it was the World Football League.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
remember. All I
I
know is
think it
the
was the
fact.
World. He called it the World Football League. But it seems, Ted, that a lot of these folks and everything, they know how to control him and to keep him right where they need him to be at. And he's like a puppet that they can control. They know what to do to pull those strings, or who to go to pull those strings. Almost like Elon Musk. Musk is crazy as all get out, but he knows how to pull Trump's strings. Even though Trump, after the election was over with, Trump got mad at Musk and said he trying to be the president. Well, he had kicked him out for about a half a second, and now Trump back in again. I mean, Musk is back in,
Because you know what
back in
Musk said
charge
he was
again.
gonna do. You know what Musk said he was gonna do.
You gonna
He
get your
said
ticket?
in the next 2026 election, he's
Hmm.
gonna pour a lot more money in there so he can have more power.
Money is power. Okay.
That's
And,
exactly
and
what he's gonna do.
and Trump believes him. So we might be looking at the next president, Elon Musk, then.
That's a stretch.
Or we might be looking at the next power broker, the next maker and stuff of the people who are gonna be in power. He's gonna control the power, the purse string. But he can't get too strong because he has that lawsuit against the board of Tesla, and he's trying to get that $56 billion payout and everything. And the court, well, the judge in New Jersey, where their corporation and stuff resides at, and everything, said he ain't gonna give him a dime of that money yet. So he's still gonna have to do some more fighting to get that $56 billion he's looking for as his payout for his pay. So there's a lot of stuff going on out there, Ted. And some people and stuff are a lot more stronger than other folks are. And I'm still going to be interested in stuff if they're going to get that $450 million out of Trump, New York, to Letitia James, since it's a state court thing. Anyway, the last I heard, the judge over that case and everything said that it's going to go forward, And they're thinking that when it goes to the state appellate court or whatever, that they may reduce that they're going to fine, but he still have to pay some of that $450 million. So we'll see.
Well, Trump right now, his network now. I understand that he didn't bumped up now, because that thing done went up a little bit. So he probably worth about another $3-4 billion, if not more.
Well, you got to get somebody to buy them stocks for that company.
People buying it. People buying it.
Oh, they buying it? Oh,
They ain't
okay.
making no money, but they
I
buying it.
wouldn't be buying it because it's too unstable. Trump might decide to get the hell out of there
Oh, they love Trump,
and leave them
and
flat.
then the thing about it, he can sell right now. He can sell and sell a whole bunch of shares and get billions of dollars. That's the question: is he going to do that? That's
Yeah.
why he keep on selling stuff. What he selling? Wasn't he selling guitars? The last thing he sold was guitars.
I don't know, man. He done sold so much stuff. He got them coins and stuff he sold that ain't worth 50 cents, $50, the $100 coin, but they're worth $50. He done sold gym shoes. He done sold Bibles and.
Oh, I tell you, the next thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna make a prediction. A Trump Tesla car.
That's a good idea. You got a car, Trump Tesla.
Yeah, a Trump Tesla car.
Yeah,
They
TT.
probably designing it right now.
You call it a TT. It's the TT.
And he gonna be bragging about it and talking about it because he think he's the number one salesman in the world.
Man, don't get that man any idea, Ted, because he might just do that. he might just do that. He gonna make some more money.
He say, and then he probably say, "I'll give you 20% of everything you sell." If you sell a
20% of the
million cars,
profits.
you're getting 20% of it.
20% of the profits. Hey, put your name on it. Oh man, I, I, that sounds like a weird thing, man. But I think that's something Trump might decide to do. I don't know. Or he might decide to do a venture with him, or have one
That's
of
the
his
deal,
idiot
bro.
boys and stuff do it.
And I'm gonna tell you, if he do enough stuff for Putin, it's gonna be a Trump Tower in Russia.
Well, he already negotiated that. They already negotiated that.
It
Yes, they
ain't
did.
done.
Right during the election, when about in stuff July or August and stuff, they were negotiating that a Trump Tower in Russia. It hadn't been finalized, but they had to start negotiating that. It's probably going to show up. He's probably going to get it there. He's probably going to push that stuff on through. Somebody going to finance it and put it on through. It's going to go. Look at Ted. It's going to go through, especially if Trump can get him Ukraine. He got it. The tower is built. If he gets to Ukraine, the tower is built. Trump Tower is there. All you got to do, get him Ukraine. If he can do it. If Biden can't get them that $400 and something million of cash that he's trying to get to him in the short term, he proposes he's going to push through $450 something billion to go to Ukraine. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but he's going to try like hell. He said he want to give that man enough money so he can be able to withstand whatever's going to happen for at least a year or two. So we shall see. Anything else, my friend? Since we got the college football playoffs Ted going on, my team, Georgia, might gonna be able to make it.
Did they make it?
And Alabama gonna sneak back in, it looks like.
What? How's Alabama? Didn't they lose 5 games?
Alabama, they say Alabama gonna sneak back in They gave the final, well, not the final, but next to the final CFP college football playoffs and stuff and everything, and that ranking and stuff. Alabama they moved up to where they going to get one of them last spots and stuff in the playoffs. And Alabama doesn't have to play any more games and stuff at all, so they can't. They're not going to lose anything. So they got the SEC championship game and stuff coming up. I think on the 4th of December or 5th or something like that this weekend. And whoever comes out of that between Texas and Georgia, if Georgia loses and stuff and everything, Georgia could get knocked out of the playoffs by losing that game. And Texas and stuff, even if they lose, they still going to be in because I think Texas is number 2 now in the nation and stuff now because they only lost that one game, and that one game was against Georgia. All the other games they won, so we're going to see. Going to be interesting, man, to see what's happening. I like my college football, Ted. I love it. I love watching my college football. And, man, the fallout from Michigan winning that game this past Saturday. I rode through my neighborhood, and they had them Ohio State folks putting their signs up. Well, they done pulled them down now. And now I'm seeing the big blue up. They got bragging rights now. But guess what, Ted? They saved that brother's job. The head coach. He won that game against Ohio State. They saved his job. Because they were going to fire him with a 6-5 record in Michigan. They had planned on firing him. But he beat Ohio State. So his job has been saved for another year. You beat Ohio State, hey, any Michigan coach beat them, you got your job. Hey, you can't lose because that's a big rivalry that's been going on for decades. So I was afraid that old Sharon or whatever his name is and stuff was if he lost that game that they were gonna this coming year because I don't think he's gonna get any bowl games and stuff with a 6-5 record. We're 7-5 now. He might not even get a bowl game. So if he doesn't, I figured that they were gonna fire him, but since he won that game, they're gonna bring him back. So anyway, that's college football right now in a nutshell. I had to say something about it. Anything else, man?
Well, I'm going to say this because, well, we'll talk about it in detail, but we got to talk about what these states are doing to safeguard their states, these governors, these Democratic governors.
Well, we already know what California's doing.
Yeah, he didn't set up a
He got a
safeguard
fund.
for a,
They got a litigation fund that they done set up to fight him.
yeah,
Something what, $24 million and stuff they already got in the fund. And
25 million.
and the state legislature was already approved that amount of money to fight them. But I don't know what the other ones are doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to find out if anybody else is doing anything. I don't know if Illinois will even be in that category, but you're talking, I don't know. We ain't got that many states.
You got Illinois, you got Pennsylvania, they got a Democratic governor, you got New York, Democratic
Michigan,
governor, Michigan got a Democratic governor, uh, Minnesota has a Democratic governor, Wisconsin has a Democratic governor. I think Colorado has a Democratic governor. Arizona has a Democratic governor. I think Nevada does too. And North Carolina has one, but that boy in North Carolina, he's overwhelmed. They have a super majority there in the legislative branch, and he can't do nothing. They're already them passed some laws and stuff and everything. They're taking away all of his power. All he's gonna be is a figurehead. That's it. North Carolina said we ain't letting that. He's the Democrat. They put him in. He ain't gonna have no power. They done cut his teeth already. So we can just throw North Carolina out because the brother man he ain't got the snowball chance in hell of doing anything. So anyway, we shall see. We're gonna keep on the lookout for it, and we might. I'm looking to see if we're going to have a 51st state, Ted. Trump had already told the brother man, so you could be the 51st state.
Who?
Did you hear me earlier when he told Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister,
Oh,
when he came down? He said, "Hey man, you can be the 51st state. We're gonna make you the governor." Poor Trudeau, he just went down there and tried to kiss that man's ring, and he just pissed on him. He sent him back with his tail between his butt, trying to negotiate with Trump. he got to he need to take a page out of the Mexican president girlfriend. She ain't went there. She just sent that fool a letter. oh, oh man! Final word, Ted. We at this mark
I'm
here.
done, bro. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's a lot of news going on.
Oh man, a lot of news, man. A lot of news going on. We got a lot of stuff going on, people. We got some changes coming for 2025. We're gonna we're gonna make some improvements and stuff on our stuff. So we got a lot coming down the pipe, people. So be on the lookout. We're gonna be doing a series of highlights and stuff of our old shows. So be aware that it's coming. So anyway, all I got to say is Happy New Year, people. Merry Christmas. And please, folks, don't spend all your money on these gifts and everything for Christmas and stuff and put yourself in so much debt that you just cannot pay it because you got to buy Christmas present. Sometimes you have to stand up and say, enough is enough. There was an old comedian that I used to listen to a long time ago. My parents used to listen to it, and she said, when the bait start costing more than the fish, stop fishing. And now's the time, stop fishing. leave, leave, leave them credit cards alone. Let them big old department stores and Amazon understand that you don't have the money anymore to keep them floating. And you got to keep your family has to come first. It must come first because that debt is going to kill you come January and February and March when you are trying to pay a high bill plus the interest rate because most of you guys and stuff who got those credit cards with these big companies and stuff, them interest rates are 25 and 36%. They are ridiculous unless you can get those interest-free loans to buy your products. It's not worth it. That's what I got to say, Ted. I'm all done. So we're going to see you folks tomorrow. Mr. Harvey got things to do, and I do too. Bye, people.